Hey guys, in this video I'm going to teach you guys how to do a geometry concept, which is simplifying radicals. So here we go. So a radical is basically just anything inside the square root sign, and that's all you have to know for the meaning of radical. So usually if something's not a perfect square, you would just plug the number into a calculator to find out the decimal answer. Well, what you can do is you can actually simplify it and get a different answer that's not a decimal. So what you need to do is find out factors of 24 that contain at least one square root. So that means when we start listing the factors, there are 8 times 3 and 6 times 4. Now 6 times 4 has a 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So that's a perfect square, so we're going to use this. So now what you do is you find the square root of 4, which is 2, and you put 2 on the outside, and then since there's a 6 left, you keep that on the inside. So your answer is 2 root 6. And you can check that by multiplying 2 times 2, which equals 4, and then multiply that by 6 and you get a 24. So for number 1, we look for factors that have a perfect square in it. So 9 times 2 is the first one that comes into my head, and that's the only one. So 9 times 2, and then the square root of 9 is 3, so you take 3 and put it on the outside, and then 2 is left, so you put that on the inside. So your answer is 3 root 2. For 45, a factor pair that has a perfect square in it is 9 times 5. So 9 times 5, and the square root of 9 is 3. So you put 3 on the outside and then keep 5 on the inside. So your answer is 3 root 5. For number 3, a factor pair that has a perfect square in it is 4 times 3. And the square root of 4 is 2, so 2 is on the outside. And then there's only a 3 left, so 3 is on the inside. Okay, so for number 4, since it's kind of a big number, I'm going to use a calculator. So I'm just going to pick one of the lowest perfect squares. So I'm going to try 96 divided by 4. So the factors are 24 times 4. So 24 times 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. And then the thing that's left on the inside is the 24. Now the thing is that you're not done, because you could actually factor this again, because there's a perfect square in 24. So 6 times 4 equals 24, and the square root of 4 is 2. And now what you have to do, since the square root of 4 is 2, you have to multiply whatever is on the outside of the square root. So 2 times 2 equals 4, and then the thing that is left on the inside is a 6. So your final answer is 4 root 6. So if you don't want to go through all that trouble, you should try to find the biggest square root that you can. So for this problem, if you're going to look for the biggest square root, it would have been 16. Because when you multiply 4 by itself, it equals 16. So for number 5, if you try to see the factors for it, 11 times 3 is one of the only factors. And the thing is that there's no perfect square in it. So what you do is you just write root 33, because you can't take anything out. So for number 6, I already know that 25 will be one of the factors because it ends in a 75. So 25 times 7 is the factors, and the square root of 25 is 5. So your answer is 5 root 7. So for 7, the factors could be 12 times 6 or 36 times 2. And 36 is actually a perfect square, so I'm just going to use that. So the square root of 36 is 6. And then on the inside it's 2. So 6 root 2 is our answer. And for our last example problem, the square root of 144 is of course 12. And don't get confused and write the square root of 12 because that's not the same thing as just 12. Pause the video, grab some paper, and try solving these problems on your own. So for number 9, since it ends with a 5, I just divided it by 5 and I got 49. So 49 times 5, and 49 is a perfect square. So the square root of 49 is 7. And then there's a 5 in the inside, so your answer is 7 root 5. For number 10, the square root of 9 is just 3. For number 11, if you list out the factors, there is only 7 times 3, and there is no perfect square, so your answer is just root 21. And for our last problem, the factors for 27 are 9 times 3, and the square root of 9 is 3, so your answer is 3 root 3. Hopefully you got all those problems correct. So that's about it. This is actually pretty easy to do. I think it's just the basics of geometry, so it's really easy. If you liked this video and you thought it was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I make videos every Saturday or Sunday. This week was Sunday. And follow my Twitter if you're not ready for updates. And watch my other videos. I'll leave a link down below. And thanks for watching.